Hello everyone. I'm back with part 3 of plant cell culture and applications. Sure, you would have viewed part 1 and part 2, which covered the introduction of plant tissue culture, types of tissue culture, medium, etc. Key areas covered in part 3 video lesson. In this part 3 video lesson, we'll be dealing with applications of cell and tissue culture. We will look at micropropagation, virus-free plants, artificial seeds, embryo rescue, haploids and triploids, somatic hybrids and cybrids, production of secondary metabolites, and soma clonal variation. Coming to micropropagation. Propagation from different explants aseptically under in vitro conditions is what we call as micropropagation. There are four defined steps in micropropagation. Step 1 is initiation of culture from any explants like stem, leaf, hypocotyle, cotyledon, etc. Second step is the shoot multiplication, where you will have multiplications of various shoots from the explant. Third is the rooting of the shoots. And fourth is the transplantation, where the hardening of the tissue culture raised plants is done and transplantation to the greenhouse. Here we have various stages of micropropagation being depicted through different pictures. So the first step, you have the explants kept in the tissue culture medium. In the second, you have the regeneration, you have the shoots coming up. Here we are separating the different shoots under laminar flow hood aseptically. Down from the right to left, you have the tissue culture room. There is the rooting of tissue cultures, and then there is the picture of the greenhouse. Coming to the next application, production of virus-free plants. Distribution of viruses in plants are uneven, and the apical or axillary meristems are generally free from viral particles because meristems are areas of cell division, and here cells multiply very rapidly. So the virus cannot reach each and every cell. Small meristems of usually less than 1 millimeter long collected from virus-infected plants are cultured to produce the virus-free plants. And here the temperature is raised to 42 degrees Celsius. Slightly higher temperatures are used. Other steps are same as micropropagation except the starting explant, which is a meristem. Virus-free plants are different from virus-resistant plants. In virus-resistant plants, genes for virus resistance will be introduced to create the transgenics, whereas virus free plants, it is free from virus only for a certain period of time. Production of virus free plants are important to increase the yield and quality. Coming to artificial seeds. Artificial seeds are produced by encapsulating the somatic embryos in a protective covering. Calcium alginate is generally used for coating the embryos. Artificial seeds are also called synthetic seeds or somatic seeds. Typical artificial seed has three parts. There is an artificial seed coat, somatic embryo at torpedo stage, and artificial endosperm. So here is the picture of artificial seeds where it is coated with calcium alginate. Coming to the next application, embryo rescue. Embryo rescue is the technique by which embryo from sterile hybrid seeds are excised at appropriate time and cultured on a suitable nutrient medium to produce the novel hybrids. It's very helpful in case of interspecific and intergeneric crosses where it is difficult to produce hybrids. In the above crosses, abnormal development of endosperm, which causes premature death of hybrid embryo and lead to sterile seed formation. Haploids and triploids. Haploids. Haploid production occurs mainly through the pollen and anther culture as well as ovary culture. It helps to raise the recessive plants and, interestingly, using colchicine chemical, homozygous diploid plants can be produced from the diploidization of haploids. And these homozygous diploid plants can serve as parents in crossbreeding. Triploids. Endosperm is an excellent material to produce triploids as it is a triploid tissue. They usually show seed sterility or seedlessness, which is desirable in some fruits like citrus, apple, pear, etc. Next important application is production of somatic hybrids and cybrids. In case of hybrids, there is fusion of both cytoplasm as well as nucleus, whereas in cybrid, one of the nucleus will be removed from the parent protoplast. So somatic hybrids and cybrids are generally done by protoplast fusion, and the fusogen is PEG or polyethylene glycol. So you will have two protoplasts. Protoplasts are cells without cell wall. So here in the picture you can see the nucleus, chloroplast as well as mitochondria in both the protoplast. And when it is fused, you get a heterokaryon. Karyon means nucleus, so there is a mixture of nucleus as well as chloroplast and mitochondria, which is present in the cytoplasm, is also mixed. Then, when you have the hybrid, there is fusion of the nucleus and there is fusion of the cytoplasm. Whereas in case of the hybrid, there is only one nucleus that is retained. In the first case, you can see the color change. There is only one nucleus, which is just like the parent. Whereas in the hybrid also, you can see that only another nucleus is retained. There is no fusion of the nucleus. So how do we do that? First, you isolate the protoplasm. We can use mechanical as well as enzymatic method, but enzymatic method is usually more preferable. Fusion of the protoplast of different genomes. Here we can use chemofusion, mechanical fusion, or electrofusion. In chemofusion, we use PEG. After fusing the protoplast, we select the hybrid. Antibiotic selection marker can be used or fluorescent markers can be used. And once the hybrids are selected, we culture the hybrid cells and those cells are used to raise the hybrid plants. So somatic hybridization is a major way to raise the hybrid plants of our choice. Coming to secondary metabolites. Additional products or chemicals such as alkaloids, resins, tannins, latex, etc. produced by the plants are called secondary metabolites. Its suggested function is in defense mechanism as well as there is immense use in medicine. But it is produced in small amounts and are very expensive. So the only alternative is to large scale produce of these metabolites. Using bioreactors, we use plant bioreactors here, using cell culture or root culture. This is a very important chart which shows the plant source which give rise to the product, which is a secondary metabolite and its possible uses. For example, we have artemisinin, which is artemis. Thank you so much for patient watching.